Hi everyone, welcome back to Wander Freely. We are wandering freely again.
That's right. Warm weather.
It just doesn't take us long, does it? This does not quite look like October in Pennsylvania.
Thank goodness for that.
So that may not come as a big surprise to you, but what may come as a big surprise is that we did not take Aunt Gladdy this time. Sometimes it just doesn't pay to take your RV. And while we love RVing and we loved our time when we were full-time RVing, still, you have to be a little honest with the situation and really figure it out for yourself. Is it really worth it to take the RV on this trip or is it not? So I just wanted to cover with you some of the reasons that we chose not to bring Aunt Gladdy this time. So the first reason was that we have a really short time frame for this trip. It's a shorter trip. It's only going to be about 2.5 weeks. And so bringing Aunt Gladdy just seemed like if we're going a short trip to do the RVing is a lot of work. And we hear this a lot of times from people, especially when they're new to RVing, that everybody kind of hits that slump like a couple months into it where it's like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. Like we didn't realize how much time we're going to spend booking campgrounds and the tearing down, the setting up all the time. It does take a lot of time, and that's fine when you have an extended trip. But when you have a really, really short amount of time, it can really cut into your vacation. Going along with the time consideration is you have to be realistic with how much time you want to spend at your destination and how much time you want to spend getting there and coming back. We were traveling from Pennsylvania to the Gulf Coast in Alabama. We wanted a trip to the beach and we wanted to feel like we were extending our summer a little bit before we really succumb to the, fall and the winter. So our trip, the miles for that trip is like 1,150 miles. If we bring the RV for that, that's probably going to be 3 days for us because we don't like to have really long travel days in the RV. However, Chris and I don't mind having a long day on the road if we're not towing. So we can do this. We have a car and we will do the car in one day, get our trip out of the way. So we got up really early in the morning. We left around 4 o'clock and we were here by 9 o'clock, and that includes the time differential from East Coast to, what is this, Central? Central, yeah. So that we do not mind, but it also, again, gave us extra days to our vacation instead of staying like one night in Virginia off the highway, one night down farther off the highway somewhere, and then coming down. We were able to get down here right away, and on our way back we'll probably do pretty much the same thing. Our next biggest consideration is the cost, and most of the time you can save money with the RV. However, I do want to pose it to you that sometimes it actually pays to not take your RV, and some of that has to do with the reasons that we already mentioned. To get down here, we would be spending multiple nights. We would have been leaving a little bit earlier. We would have had to have a longer trip so that we had multiple nights to get down here, multiple nights to make it back. So those are all extra nights. Instead of making our drive in one day, no hotels, we just made it all the way down here. So that's one way that you can save. In addition to that, we are out of season here. It is October. So while this is a really, really beautiful time to come down to the beach, and Chris and I love it because most of the kids are back in school and things really start to settle in a lot, and the water's still nice and warm, so you feel like it's summer, but you're not dealing with the summer crowds. So we love this time of year, but for most people, they're not able to take a vacation. So it's still, the rates are so much lower. So we actually this time chose to do a condo, and it's the very first time we've ever done that. Before RVing, we only ever rented houses, and I have to say, we've both discussed this now. We've been here a week, and we're like, you know what, I don't think that we would do a condo again. But this time, it made for a really, really cheap vacation that ended up costing us less than if we had brought the RV. Let's also talk about the consideration of location. And in this, we like to come to Gulf Shores, big surprise, right? But there is not actually an RV park on the water. And this time, since it was a vacation, this was like a little bit more special for us. This was more of, let's have an actual vacation. Although Chris has worked, I think, every single day but one. But
yeah.
It is still a vacation for us. So being that we are looking at this as more of a vacation, we actually wanted to stay waterfront so that we literally are walking out of the condo, we're on the sand, we're at the beach, so that every day, all of our time, most of our time is spent at the beach if we're outside. So this has worked out as a special treat for us. That's not something that we always do, but in this case, location-wise, we just couldn't do it with an RV park. And the final consideration I want to bring to your attention is just the ease of it. There is something very easy about packing up the car, driving straight through, getting down here, having your vacation, and not having your house with you. Sometimes that works to your advantage, but there are some times where it's actually nice to have the ease of not having that and having very, very simple living, and it's still not being you hauling it down here, hauling it back, and running the whole thing from day to day. And that has really worked out well, because while this is a vacation for us, it's not really a vacation. We do work, and Chris and I believe, especially for his business, that if he's given a job, that he's meant to do it. So he doesn't turn away work ever. He always completes work. He considers it a gift and an opportunity. So because of that, we never really know. He's working, we've had one day off since we've been here. He's worked every other day. But it's nice to have that ease of the rest of our lifestyle right now, so that even though he's working, if he puts in 6 or 8 hours, all the rest of the time is seriously free time. There's no extra duties that go along with that. So that's kind of, even though he's still working, it still gives us a feel of a vacation. So that was it. Those are our reasons, and we do think that it's important that even if you really love RVing, and we certainly love RVing, but there are times when you really just have to be honest with the situation and the trip that you're looking for, and maybe every once in a while, maybe it pays not to take the RV. So this time we are enjoying the beach. I'm going to show you what it all looks like, because we've been having a great time down here. You know that we love it here, and we're wishing you all some warm, sunny days before winter sets in. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
It really is special to be able to stay right on the beach. We take a long walk each morning to start the day. And we have some friends that join us, like ghost crabs, or monarch butterflies, which we are seeing in the hundreds here. Must be a part of their migration. And while we relax on the beach, we get to take in a Blue Angels practice. Chris lost him in the umbrella. Come on, Chris, get it together. The flip over. And now for the maneuver we have all been waiting for, the full loop. And I lost him in the sun. Jeez. Still can't find it. And there is the end of the loop. We need to work on our filming. Check out this view from the condo. It is not so bad working with that view out the window. Kind of an upgrade from looking out at your neighbor's RV. Being in the condo is actually reminding us of being in the RV. Chris sets up his little workstation, which is part of the living space and kitchen, so we are right next to each other. And that is what most of our days are looking like. Although we did not grow up here, it definitely feels like Sweet Home Alabama to us.